Okay, well, let me briefly introduce myself and we will begin. My name is Marshall. I'm here in Kentucky where I was born. I went to school in Indiana, got a PhD at UCLA. I was a college professor and dean when I was very young. And then for the past 36 years, I've done three things. One, I give talks or teach classes. And that's what I love to do the most. Two, I coach executives. That's what I'm most famous for. And three, I write books and articles. And that's how I reach people. So I've sold a couple million books, and I think I've done 35 books. Now, I've been given a nice challenge today. In 20 minutes, I want to do something that's experiential and that helps you have a better life. Not an easy challenge, but I'm going to do my best. Here's what I want to do first. Well, first I want to say I love working in India. India is my favorite place in the world to work. I go about 3 times a year, and I just love working there. People in India love teachers. And as a teacher, it's just a wonderful place to work. Now, we're going to have some practice. I want everybody to join a group of 2 or 3 people. Go! Sit by 2 or 3 people. Go, go, go. Find a partner. Okay. Now we're going to practice peer coaching. I want you to shake hands with your partner and say, my name is, I'm here to help. Now, we're going to practice something called the daily question process. I love this idea. Now, I went to a program at the National Academy of Human Resources in the States. I'm a fellow of this National Academy. And at the program, they were talking about employee engagement. And they talked about what companies are doing to engage employees. And it was all good. These are 3 heads of HR from huge companies. And they talked about things like fairness and empowerment and good compensation systems and training. 100% of what they discussed was what can the company do to engage you. 0% was what you can do to engage yourself. I'm thinking these people are missing half the equation. I fly constantly. On American Airlines alone, I have over 11 million frequent flyer miles. There's 2 flight attendants on the plane. One's positive, upbeat, motivated, enthusiastic. One's negative, bitter, angry, and cynical. Same plane, same pay, same empowerment program. What's the difference? It's not on the outside, it's on the inside. Well, this got me to thinking. Now, I'm going to share a process I use and I'm going to share new research we're doing with my daughter that's fantastic. This is called the daily question process. Are you ready? Look into the eyes of your partner. I want you to imagine your partner's going to call you on the phone every night for the rest of your life. Well, I have a coach that does call me almost every day. His name is Andrew. Every day we go through a series of 32 questions. Now, the idea behind the process is you write your own questions. Over the years, my first question has been, how happy were you yesterday? I don't have to work. I live in a beautiful place. I have a home in California, New York. I love my job. I'm not happy, I'm an idiot. Most of you are among the luckiest people that ever lived. If you're not happy, you're probably an idiot. Second question, how meaningful was yesterday? My day wasn't meaningful. Whose fault is that? I could blame you, but that would be terrible. Another question. How many times yesterday did you try to prove you were right when it wasn't worth it? I've almost never got a 0 my whole life. Kind of hard for the old professor not to be right. I ask a lot of questions about life. How much do you weigh? How many push-ups? How many sit-ups? Did you say or do something nice for your wife? Did you say or do something nice for your son? Did you say or do something nice for your daughter? He asked a bunch of questions about life. And my friend Jim Moore does this, and he will tell you this process saved his life. It didn't kind of save his life, it did save his life. One of his questions every day, are you currently updated on your physical examination? He said no the first 90 days he did it. After 90 days, he said, this feels like failing a test when I wrote the questions. He said, I'm either going to get the stupid exam or quit asking the question. He got the stupid exam. Doctor said, you have cancer. Now he's going to be fine. That was 7 years ago. The doctor also said, had you waited 7 months, you'd be dead. Well, this is a great process to keep whatever we want to change in our heads. Now, you're going to have about 2 minutes. You're going to talk to your partner. And you're going to say, partner, here's one question I should challenge myself with every day. Your partner's going to say, here's one question I should challenge myself with every day. Go back and forth until I say stop. Oh, talk to your partner. Okay, stop. Now, I'm now going to teach you a new wrinkle on this process. My daughter is Dr. Kelly Goldsmith. She's a professor at the Kellogg School of Northwestern. In reviewing the work on employee engagement, my daughter pointed out that every question in employee engagement surveys was a passive question, such as, do you have a friend at work? Do you have clear goals? Do you have meaningful work? Well, my daughter's research is very compelling. When you ask people passive questions, you almost always get an environmentally based answer. For example, if someone says, I don't have meaningful work, they will typically say my boss is bad or the company's unclear. My daughter taught me the value of active questions. Active questions start with, did I do my best to? We have come up with 6 active questions that are making a huge difference in employee engagement. Every day, and now these are now my first 6 questions. Question number 1, did I do my best to be happy? Not did somebody else make me happy, did I do my best to be happy? Question 2, did I do my best to find meaning? Not did people give me meaning, did I do my best to find meaning? Question 3, did I do my best to build positive relationships? Rather than saying, do I have a friend at work? Did I do my best to make good relationships? Question 4, did I do my best to set clear goals? Rather than saying, do I have clear goals, did I do my best to set clear goals? Question 5, did I do my best to make progress toward goal achievement? And finally, question 6, did I do my best to be fully engaged? We have done research now with 41 studies, 1,710 participants. Everybody goes to a training program. We follow up every day with these 6 questions for 2 weeks. What have we found? We have found that 30% of the people report getting better at everything. More engaged, better goal setting, clearer objectives, better progress. 59% say they get better at 4 out of the 6 items. 18% say they got better. 86% say they got better at one thing, at least one, and 14% no change. Good news, nobody got worse. Nobody gets worse at anything. Now, when I say nobody, 0.2% or something, but statistically, nobody gets worse. What I love about this is it gets you to focus on what you can change, not on what you cannot change. Also, I'm a student of Hindu philosophy. I'm writing a new book that's going to build on Hindu philosophy, and I've been working with my friend Dr. Vijay Govindarajan on his new book. This is very consistent with Hindu philosophy. The focus is don't get fixated on results. Did I do my best to? Which in life is all we can do anyway. And what I love about this is you can get more long-term improvement in employee engagement doing this than some very expensive programs. Now let me stop. You mentioned that you might want to have some questions. I will do my best if I can hear you to answer them. Why don't you do this? Talk to your partner, 20 seconds, and come up with the good questions for me. Go, talk to your partner. Okay, do we have a good question?
Any questions here, please? Yes, we have Navi who would like to ask you a question, Marshall.
Marshall, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Marshall, my question is essentially you travel a lot to Europe and Asia and India also. Do you see any kind of differences from a leadership standpoint, in the sense that do you think that maybe it's time that we overlook or go beyond thinking about there's an Indian way of leading or Indian way of doing things or a Western way of doing things? Do you see there's a future where we transcend these differences when we start looking more for building something more integrated as an approach, whether it's for leadership or innovation?
Very good question. I think I got the question. I'm going to try to answer it. Two answers. One, in my leadership development and coaching work, I wrote an article called Leadership as a Contact Sport. This is a study of 86,000 participants from around the world. Our leadership development process worked everywhere. The best scores in the world are in Asia. So far, on our new employee engagement research, it's working everywhere in the world. The best scores in the world are in India. India has the best scores in the world so far. And I don't know why. Here's my theory. This is not research, this is a guess. My theory is, I just believe in India, the people that go to my classes are serious, they want to learn, they take it seriously, and they apply the stuff very well. I may be wrong. I'd like to sort out what's research and a guess. In any case, this is working great in India.
Thank you.
Marshall, this is...
Do I have another question?
Yes, I have another question. Can you hear me? Yeah, this is Ankur. India has a different cultural background. For the first 20 years in their life, you're taught to be anything but a team worker, taught to be excessively competitive. The resources available are very scarce as you grow up. And then as a leader, you are trained to reverse what you were taught for the first 20 years of your life. Work on team, work on relationships. So whatever you're taught in school, you have to reverse that. And probably India scores maximum in that difference. So any suggestions in terms of accelerating the reverse learning process?
Yes. And again, my apologies if I misunderstood the question. I'm going to try based on what I heard. I'm a great believer in measurement. I have an undergraduate degree in mathematics and a PhD in organizational behavior. I believe that you can measure improvement in teamwork. I have a process called team building without time wasting. I've rolled out with many CEOs. It almost always works. In this process, every team member practices something called feed forward with every other team member. They learn from each other. They pick areas for improvement, and they actually measure change over time as judged by their team members. So every team member is trying to be better themselves. My friend Alan Mulally is the CEO of Ford Motor Company, a spectacular leader. He developed this team process when I worked with him at Boeing to improve relationships across Boeing. Fantastic results. If you would like the team building article or the article about Alan Mulally, send me an email. I'll be happy to send them to you.